Hey guys, it is that time again. We are going to do an Ask Carl video. I'm going to answer a bunch of questions I posted on Instagram and here on YouTube in the community tab, asking for any questions you guys want to ask me. So I did that last night and I've got many hundreds. So I'm going to try to scan through as many as I can through right now. Please, if you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Ring the bell, get notifications for YouTube on your phone. Go see my Guitar Academy at Guitarist365.com. All right, all that's done. All right, so I'm going to get through these. I'll say their username. I'm going to start with the Instagram comments. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. That's really the only place I kind of really post stuff on social media. So please, the link will be in the description. I want to see my numbers go up. All right, David Colomir, how are you such a god? Some people are just born with it, man. I don't know. Nathan Wylock, what are your hobbies? Playing with my dogs. Playing golf. I play a lot of golf. Mini Yahir, what is your favorite metal band and why? Now, modern metal would be probably Periphery, just because musically I just like how it sounds. I'm not much a fan of like screaming vocals, but even Spencer Sotelo I think is like the greatest metal vocal. He's just incredible what he can do. I've seen him do it live too, and he's like spot on. It's incredible. I'm going to skip any kind of request and stuff too, because we have quite a bit, or any kind of duplicate questions. So if you don't see me answer your questions, it's probably because I already did. Okay, how to get a good Amira Soda. I'm gonna screw these names up. How can we get a good metal sound out of a Strat? Put humbuckers in it. J-Fish, should I buy a Tele or a Strat? Strat, more versatile. Rip Tray, favorite guitar riff? Probably anything off of Extreme's Pornograffiti album. I think that's the greatest guitar riff album ever. Familiar Guy, what's your favorite rock song from the 70s? Hard to pick a song, but it would be by Pink Floyd, probably Comfortably Numb. Big Boy That Listens to Metal, favorite Pantera song? Jeez. Probably Mouth for War, something like that. Stingray 1442, thoughts on Dave Mustaine, mainly his cancer, but you can elaborate further. It's a bummer. He's a legend, and man, hopefully they just get it. I'm sure he's got great medical stuff, and you know, he's an icon, so we need him, and he's still writing good music and touring and playing, so you know, hopefully he'll just he'll kick it and get back out there. Alex Rodriguez, what is the best way to improve phrasing during solos? Learn to start on a different part of the measure usually. So a lot of times you'll see your phrases that are always starting on the 1 or the 3. So practice starting your licks on different beats of the measure, like the 1, 2, 3, and 4, but also the and of the 1, the and of the 2. And you'll notice when you do that, your phrasing completely changes and just naturally, and you'll feel more musical and more creative that way. A to B, why is it learning to alternate pick correctly so annoying and difficult? It's hard to do. There's synchronization involved in it. I have an alternate picking course in my academy, which kind of systematically takes you through that thing. But if you have you got to really learn and to get proper technique, have a balanced hand, and then just turn that right hand or whatever hand you pick with into like a machine. And then you start trying to synchronize what's going on in the left hand with it. But it gets easier. So just practice, man. It's just really all there is to it. Diego Say 10, does your brother play the guitars too? He can strum a few chords, but no, he doesn't. He's a drummer. He's an incredible drummer. But he trains himself to play a bunch of different other instruments, but mainly he's been a drummer all our lives. Daly asked, toughest lesson that you uploaded? You know, the hardest ones are the ones that I just don't really know that well usually. Don't know the music so well, but probably the hardest to perform would be the beginning of Eugene's Trick Bag, that arpeggio section. Steve Odd never even does it live, so you can know it's pretty hard. So that's probably it was like 10 years ago though, I don't know, it's kind of hard to pick. Amir said, same guy, please go more professional music theory lessons. I might do that. I had an idea of on the channel maybe doing a series of where instead of teaching a song, I teach the theory behind it, like, you know, oh, here's Stairway to Heaven. What are they doing there, or whatever, and just kind of go through the song and just kind of show you. So if you guys think that theoretical breakdown of a track instead of teaching it note for note, which I'll probably do in a different video, if you like that kind of a series, maybe I'll start doing that. For all the theory guys, yeah, people like Rick Beato, man, they got that market locked up. So, and they're very good at it. So check him out if you don't know about him. Oh, another one, Lucas. How are you such a legend? Like I said, just born with it, Metal Grok. Okay, this is from Mark Grocky, which you guys don't know. I did a collaboration video with him. He got me, Chris Zupa, and Mike from Art of Guitar, and then Mark together for like a little shred guitar video. So you might want to look at that. That's on his channel. We played Devil Goes Down to Georgia and shred it. But anyway, so he says, you've been on YouTube forever. I'd like to hear about your history on YouTube, successes, failures, overall experience with the online community, and any plans for original material, and have you ever been in any bands? Been in bands, didn't really go anywhere. By the time I got old enough to come out to LA in a band, I came out in a band. The music industry just kind of fell on its face. That was like the early 2000s, so nobody was, it was just kind of a joke. There's no local music scenes, or it's horrible. But I am doing my own original music right now. I'm doing a solo album right now. I'm hoping to have it out by the end of the year. And pretty much my internet audience is where I'll be releasing it to. So, but YouTube successes and failures. YouTube, I've been here, forever. I've been here almost 10 years. It's slow. It's a slow, but my channel doesn't, I'm not a big social media guy. That's why you guys, if you ever try to get in touch with me on YouTube or something, it's impossible, because I just don't do it. I don't wake up in the morning going, oh, what am I going to tell people about myself today? I just don't have that in my personality. I grudgingly place stuff on Instagram or whatever, but pretty much I just want to play guitar and, show people how to play music and help people learn how to play guitar and do things for my academy, and that's it. I don't like all the legwork. I hate everything else. I hate all the social media stuff. So I have to do it, I know, but I suck at it because I don't like it. I don't have a passion for it. So anyway, because of that, my channel grows probably a lot slower than other ones. Plus, a lot of my stuff's pretty advanced. So I don't have here's an easy version of doing this stuff and just intro and there you go, 3 minutes, I don't do that. So there's guys that specialize in that. It's just not me. So it's usually the guys who are a little bit more experienced that come to my channel eventually, and there's a lot fewer of those guys out there. Do you like Blink-182? Yeah, they're good at what they did, I guess. Vlad Wolf, what was your first guitar, and what was your favorite guitar of the ones that you've owned? First guitar was a Kramer Focus 1000. Favorite guitar, it depends on what it is. I have a Fritz Mueller concert classical that I love now that I wish I could play more because my hand's all screwed up though. For rock guitars, probably my favorite shred guitar I've ever had was one of those Steve Vai Gem 7Vs. I bought it in 2000 and I had to sell it because I was too broke. I needed to eat. So but that guitar just played insane. Anyway, so for shred guitars, that's probably my favorite one I've ever had when it comes to that kind of thing. Plus, I had an Ibanez RG, I forget the RG30 USA custom one that I liked a lot. But then I ended up scalloping it and ruining it and all that stuff. A massive jabroni. How many toes do you have? 11. Does it? I'm a rocker, man. Everything goes to 11. So yeah, 11 toes. Josh, if you could learn any new instrument, what would it be and why? Probably piano. It's the best instrument for writing music, I think. How do you get your hair like that? All right, Zahar Zuhushi asked that. Here's a tip. Whenever I come, you guys see me, my hair is a little wet. Why? Because I need to water it down to tame it. So when I'm getting in front of a camera, I usually water it down a little bit. Because for the rest of the day, I look a little bit like Napoleon Dynamite, and I don't want that being on video. So that water, that's how you do it. Are you planning to release your own music? Yes, I talked about that. And my own music will be both, rock stuff, but also classical stuff. I love classical guitar as soon as my playing comes back, my hand comes back. But I also like composing for orchestra. So I'll be releasing lots of that stuff too. Chuckerman, if I could have only one guitar, what would it be? Probably, like I said, if I could get my classical chops back, it would be a Matthias Damon double top classical, which those things are quite expensive. So you guys have to do, one hell of a GoFundMe for that. Gottflight, besides guitar, what other instruments do you play? Nothing. Not a thing. Nighthawk, what's the first song you ever learned? Bob Dylan's version of Knocking on Heaven's Door. Favorite Pink Floyd song, Comfortably Numb. How long do you need to get a song on a guitar? It depends on the song. Some of them take me 10 minutes. Some of them will take me a full afternoon. If I'm doing like a full Megadeth song, it probably takes me like an afternoon to get it done. Lou Guitar, what's the best advice to have practicing regularly and learning techniques such as sweep picking? Organize your practice time into blocks. So if you have a technique, if you have 3 hours a day to practice or 2 hours, spend an hour practicing technique and divide that up into 15 minutes alternate picking, 15 is sweep picking or whatever. And just have some organization. I used to always catalog whatever exercises I was practicing that week. I'd organize them and then say, okay, I can do it at this pace right now. Tomorrow I'm going to shoot for this tempo, So have fun with it, Bishop Demigod, what is your favorite genre of music? And also, what is your favorite song overall? Favorite genre of music would be like modern classical music. I know people think that's weird for me, but I don't have a favorite song at all. Do you have a band or do you used to be in a band? I've been in a million bands, yeah, but they all failed. Michael, have you always made income playing guitar? What kind of jobs and gigs did you do before YouTube? Most of my life, as a teenager, I washed dishes at some restaurants and stuff, but I worked at like a theme park. But I mostly had just been, since I was 17, I'd been a guitar teacher, except for like the first 6 months I moved out to LA, didn't have any students, and I worked at Guitar Center for like 6 months. And then I got the hell out of working at Guitar Center because it sucked. Anyway, move on. Bobby Flacari, in your opinion, what would be the best project guitar? I don't really know. I'm not much of a guitar builder type guy. It's just not a passion of mine. Guitars are just tools to me. I don't get kind of drool over them too much. So I never really thought about that things. I guess if somebody said, "Oh, we'll build you a guitar of your dreams," I'd probably have some certain features that I would like, but I don't really think about it much. Do you plan on doing this is Chad, Jaden, whatever. Any Bring Me the Horizon lessons? 2, what's your favorite animal? 3, who's your favorite band and why? P.S. You're my main source of learning guitar. Thank you. Appreciate it. I like Bring Me the Horizon, especially some of their older albums, like Sempiternal and stuff. Really good album. If I get enough requests for them, I will. But it seems to be one of those bands that metal guys love or hate them. So it's kind of they're like a niche of a niche of a niche. So I don't know how, much traction the lesson would get. Favorite animals are dogs, but I love all animals. I'm a massive animal lover. So, but yeah, dogs I love. Favorite band and why? Favorite band is a band called Sigur Rós. They're an Icelandic band. They've been my favorite band since the early 2000s, so almost 20 years now, and they're definitely my favorite. Lovely Sophia, when are you coming back to Maui, Hawaii? Will I ever meet you? Well, I didn't go to Maui. I went to Kauai, but yeah, I hope to come back. I liked it there a lot. If I could get past the humidity, definitely. But it was really a relaxed environment. I liked it a lot. Kobe, my buddy from down under. Kobe Dundee, how do you learn all the songs you give lessons on? I just transcribe. I mean, it varies. Half the time I just pull up Spotify and listen to it. But if it's an artist that I kind of know well already, I can kind of do it. If it's a song that I'm just not familiar with, it might take a little longer because I got to memorize the sound of the song. But yeah, it really varies. And if it's a very complex song, I'll throw it in transcription software and slow it down a little bit, little sections of it, and work those parts out. And he also asked how many years I've been playing. I've been playing since I got a guitar like 1986, so it's right around there. Ferry Cornelison, how do you improve your down picking? I'm assuming you're like rapid downstroke picking. That all, when you see like Hetfield, it all comes from being relaxed, learning how to release tension in your hand and your forearm, and your wrist. Once you can do that, and pay attention to your shoulder too. Once you can do that and learn how to lock that in, it also takes a lot of practice, and you got to get I'm kind of out of shape for myself. I used to do that a lot when I was in my 20s. I could really do that fast. Probably can't do it when I have to teach a lesson like that. I got to get it worked up too, because it's not something that I work on a lot. So practice, but when you're practicing, focus on relaxation. Jimmy, any tips for a guitarist losing motivation on guitar? Yeah, find a new artist, find new music to like, because really we're doing this for music, right? It's not like a sport. So as soon as somebody inspires you, then it'll probably help you pick up the guitar and want to keep going. So there's a lot of cool artists, guitar players to find and get inspiration from that'll motivate you to play guitar. So if you're kind of in a rut, discover some new, go around YouTube and listen, or go up to on Spotify and just kind of plunk around and find somebody that makes things interesting for you. Ira, hey man, I've been wanting to start posting videos on YouTube and just guitar covers. I want to ask you what equipment you use in software in order to make your videos look so nice and be able to post them. I have 3 4K cameras that are on me at all times, and have like a lighting studio set up in here too. So it's a pretty nice little setup, kind of a controlled environment. My brother does all the editing though, and I know he uses Adobe Premiere Pro, and we record the audio now with Cubase. It used to be Logic Pro. It's been many things over the years. So, and then he puts that all together and edits it. So it's not really my thing, but that's what we use. Melazonde, I love your channel, man. What is the favorite live act and why? Sigur Rós, just because they're the best band in the world. And I've probably seen them just about the most. I don't know. Do you like Def Leppard? Which song and why? They're probably my favorite 80s rock band. If you call it like rock, they're not my favorite. I mean, I like new wave bands. I like Depeche Mode stuff, but Def Leppard, probably of all the bands that made music there, the rock guys, they would be my favorite. So yeah, don't have a specific song, maybe Photograph, but yeah, they're great. This isn't a question, but it's so super awesome that you have dogs and play guitar. Thank you. That's all I really wanted to do in life. Linus, how long did it take you to play fast, clean solos? Correct and clean. Still trying to do it every day. Where did you start learning theory? Number one thing, that's from Vibe Toward. Number one thing you should do first is learn how to spell all your major keys, which I have a lesson about that on my channel, at my website. Just go there, the music theory section, it's free, and it'll teach you how to spell all your major keys very quickly. That's the foundation of pretty much all music. Trogdon, any answers for a guy who wants to find people to play with? It depends on where you live. I guess people look on the internet. It's not something I've tried for a very long time to find people to play with, so I couldn't answer too much of that, sorry. 1313 Shane, what was your reaction when Ringo and Joe Walsh came out during Paul McCartney's concert you attended? When Ringo came, I was hoping Ringo would come out because I wanted to see the remaining Beatles together and perform, and they did, and I completely fanboyed out and screamed like a crazy. That was amazing to me. So it was really cool to see the history being made, and they performed like Helter Skelter, which I don't think Ringo had ever even done live, so it was just fun. Joe Walsh, yeah, it's great. I mean, he did. I've met Joe Walsh before. I mean, when I worked at Guitar Center, I met him. Interesting guy, but that was more of the Ringo that I freaked out about. Do I like Sepultura? That's from Isaac Mall. I used to listen to them and like Soulfly and everything, but I haven't listened to them in probably a couple decades. Dimitri, have I listened or played any Creed songs? Nope. Favorite bands of all time. Favorite bands, I would say like the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Sigur Rós, obviously my favorite band of all time. Bands like Depeche Mode, I like a lot. So those would be the bands that I would kind of go towards. Carl, from one Carl to another, do you ever think of quitting the guitar? Like, you ever hit a point where you doubted your capabilities and just felt like quitting? I wouldn't say that. I would just say that sometimes I got interested in other things in life, and guitar kind of maybe didn't take a front seat, or I switched to a different style of guitar. I spent like about 6 years only pretty much playing classical guitar, and I would teach with the electric, but that's the only time I'd ever teach to pick up an electric. But now I kind of do both. Polychorus, do you ever get recognized in public? All the time, not constantly, because I'm kind of a hermit. I hang out, I like my house. My fiance calls me the great indoorsman. I like staying here and doing music and, doing stuff. If I leave, it's usually go play golf or practice golf. There's not a lot of golfers out there, not a lot of 80-year-old golfers that would know who I am. But if I go to like a concert and stuff like that, yeah, I get it all the time. JJ, whatever. When you do lesson videos, can you show the basic EQ and gain settings you use for the tone? I'm gonna start doing some tone lessons on YouTube. I'm doing a lot of them in my guitar tone course in my academy. I'm gonna move some of them over to YouTube soon, so you'll see a lot more than that soon. Jacob Ramos, has playing guitar helped you get attention from the opposite sex? Absolutely not, because 99% of women do not care these days whether you play guitar or not. I think they'd rather you be a DJ. So no, it hasn't helped. William Jones, what made you want to become a guitar teacher, and if you could live anywhere, where would it be? I became a guitar teacher because it's really the only thing I know how to do. That's why I did it. If I could live anywhere, where would it be? There's some places I like that would be kind of cool to live, like in Vienna or like Salzburg, Austria, or something like that, where you like walking in the footsteps of these great like music masters that I really admire. But I really like where I live now, in like Ventura County. So it'd probably be somewhere in California here in this area, Central Coast. The weather is amazing year-round, and so I get to play golf year-round. And there's really cool wine countries and beaches and skiing within an hour. I mean, so it's just a really great place to live. So I'd probably stay put where I'm at. Joseph, what plectrums do I use? I use the Petrucci Dunlop Flow picks, the 2.0 picks. Okay, can you do an introduction, Theodore, to improv and jamming? We've all heard learn the pentatonic scale, but when to use these notes and to compose and use new licks. When people are trying to learn how to improvise and stuff, a lot of things I like to do, and they get bored because we're just kind of playing patterns. I really say, most people just don't do ear training as part of their music study. And if you do ear training, you'll literally be able to stop. You'll be able to hear some piece, listen to a backing track for 10 seconds, like one pass through the chords or something like that. Listen to it, imagine, create a solo in your mind, not with your fingers. And then try to work on playing that immediately the next time the chords repeat, playing it in real time. You're going to suck at it at first. And as you get a better developed ear and better at doing that, you're going to actually be able to do it. Those ideas will be musical, they'll mean a lot more to you, and it won't have anything to do with patterns on the guitar. So that is where you get to it. It's a learning process, though. You have to force your brain to start thinking that way, and then things become a lot better for you. Any advice for teaching guitar? That's from the real Max Love. Don't do it. It's frustrating. Don't take up my space, man. Just, if you really liked it, if you enjoy it, do it. But, it's an interesting profession, especially personally. I don't do in-person lessons anymore, but that was always, you met a lot of interesting people. Kate Taylor, favorite Metallica song or album? Favorite album would be Master of Puppets. Song, it varies. I like stuff like Sad But True, but I also like kind of Welcome Home, Sanitarium, and Fade to Black and stuff. Use Laguz, whatever. What do you think about ESP guitars? I had some students back in the day that had them, and they played pretty well, but I don't really have any experience with them too much besides that. And he also said, have you ever listened to Children of Bodom? I've heard them, but I don't follow a lot of new music and new metal. I kind of focus more on like the classical side of things, so maybe I should. Lucas Gilbert, what was your favorite concert? It'd be one of the ones by Sigur Rós. But I've seen him play so many really amazing concerts, it's hard to pick. Wiki Ariuz, have you ever tried to be a vegan? I have. I was a vegan. Here's the thing. I don't do it for like health reasons. I do it because I'm a big animal lover. And just for my own personal, mental well-being, I have a hard time eating animals. So I became a vegan for like a full year. I backed it up to being a vegetarian. But I did do that for quite a while. Lucas Tremblay, Master of Puppets or Rust in Peace? Master of Puppets, but Rust in Peace is amazing too. Colton, were you on an episode of The Office? Yes, I was on the Phyllis's wedding episode of The Office, and me and my twin brother we played the Vance twins. Where can we, Dara Luther, where can we find footage of you playing on stage? There's lots of videos of me on YouTube playing in Vegas. Google Bugsy's Hitman and you'll probably find some stuff. Samuel George, what is the one gray Strat style guitar you use in most of your videos? That's an Ernie Ball Music Man, Sterling by Music Man guitar, JP100. How about showing us how to play some Yngwie style arpeggios? I think I did that, Tiger Who. I think I did that. It's on my other channel. Ryan Focus, have you ever bought or played a Les Paul or an SG? I've never owned either. I've played both. I would like to have a nice Les Paul. That'd be a cool guitar to have, a nice one, not like a cheap one. But no, I've never gone and bought one. Alex Pavel, how long did it take you to learn to solo to Creeping Death and Master of Puppets? Not long, because I knew the music well, and those are just patterns that he's repeating, especially in Creeping Death. So yeah, that one didn't take me long at all to do. It's probably get it up to speed in like 15 minutes. But it's because I'm so familiar with it already just by hearing it my entire life, really. Otis, is there any band or artist you regret not seeing live? Pink Floyd, definitely. Adrian, what do you think of John Frusciante and his live solos? I'm not a big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers music. But I think Frusciante is a great guitar player, especially since I've been forced to, do some of their, been forced, but a lot of people request this stuff. It's a very popular band. So I got to know his guitar playing a little bit from that, and I think he's a phenomenal player. Phenomenal. But I'm not too familiar with his live work and what's different than the recorded versions. Which do you, Otis, he also says, which do you prefer, Dio era Sabbath or Rhodes era Ozzy? Rhodes era Ozzy. That's my favorite Ozzy era period. Moises, what is your thoughts on the new Tool album? I don't know. There's no thoughts yet because I haven't heard it. Dylan, will you ever give away one of your legendary guitars to a Luck fan? I don't think they're very legendary, but probably not because I need them. But you never know. Maybe I'll start doing some giveaways. I think I will start doing some giveaways soon, but probably won't be the guitars you see me use a lot. Well, maybe. We'll see. If I get stuff that's better in here, I don't usually, form an attachment with these things. John Patrick, what was the single biggest breakthrough thought, feeling that made you feel become a better player? I like to say sometimes my grandparents bought me a metronome when I was a kid, and that really helped when I learned how to play with the metronome. But it really became learning how important having relaxed hands was. And effort, try to play with as minimal effort as possible and minimal movement as possible. And once you can get that, things just start kind of lock in, I guess. But yeah, that and the metronome. Guitar Boy, what's the guitarist that influenced your playing the most? Probably Steve Vai. Spunky, who's your favorite Nirvana album? Nevermind, come on. RK4, what made you start doing YouTube? I was just trying, I decided to kind of start teaching online, and, it was just to kind of supplement my in-person teaching income because it was going down because our economy crashed. So it was pretty much just trying to start an online, trying to move away from all in-personal and try to expand what I could do, and also help people play all the guitar, the people who can't afford lessons. So I thought that was what was really cool. In my, do I ever listen to some deathcore, some really energetic, entertaining bands? I don't know what deathcore is considered, but so probably not. Okay, K-Love Hammett, do you have any kids? A family? Is Carl a daddy? No, my dogs and my cat, they're my kids. I have no desire to have kids. Neither does my fiance, thank God. Okay, Ayel Mayo, how does it feel to know you have thousands of people that look up to you? Does it become stressful to see that many requests every day? I know, I'm totally used to, it's great. It's great that I've been able to be one of the few guitar players. I mean, because there's other guys doing like this on YouTube, but if you take us, the guys that can actually, don't have to have an outside job, and just because they create online guitar lessons on YouTube and My Guitar Academy, which really helps, there's not a lot of us out there. So I feel extremely fortunate to be in this position. So I realize people are going to request lessons. That's what it's all about. I don't feel bad not responding to them because I think they know that there's a lot of them coming in. So, but it doesn't really stress me out. But I do pay attention to them because when I start seeing the same ones again and again, I usually gives me some ideas of what to do. Stephen Sharp, what's your advice on practicing effectively? I've practiced for hours but got nothing out of it. How to get the most out of my practice? I like doing practice sessions where you work on the same stuff multiple times. So if I'm sitting there practicing like an alternate picking exercise, I'll do that. And then if I'm still playing, if like I'm playing for 3 hours, the first hour and a half I'll go through a practice routine of all the stuff, and then I'll repeat it because it makes your brain recall that material twice instead of once a day, and it'll throw it into long-term memory quicker, and you'll have it. So that is a better for me. Jonathan Kane, what gauge are your picks? They're 2.0. They're really thick. Louis Bedos, are you married? No, I'm engaged. I've been engaged forever. Brandon, can I describe the process of how you study and learn a song? Like I said, it depends on really what it is, but I don't. If I know the artist well, it doesn't take long.